Top 10 most beautiful places in the world. Most of us don't even know about all the beautiful places in the world. From breathtaking waterfalls and jaw-dropping natural wonders to mysterious lost cities and cute landmarks, there's always something to see or do. In today's video, we're going to talk top 10 most beautiful places in the world. So let's get into it. Number 10, Machu Picchu, Peru. There is the famous lost city of the Incas at Machu Picchu, which is a very big place. Machu Picchu was built around 1450, and people lived there for almost a century before the Spanish took over. The Spaniards never found this amazing city, and it was literally forgotten until the early 20th century, so most of its architectural wonders are still there. The hike up the hills is an adventure in and of itself, and this mysterious city looks its best from the lookout point on the Inca Trail. Once you get to Machu Picchu, you'll get lost in the world of beauty and be able to do and learn something very different. You'll see polished dry stone walls that are typical of the Inca style. The Intihuatana, the Temple of the Sun, and the Room of the Three Windows are some of the most important parts of this wonder that are still standing. Number 9. Rainbow Mountains, Zhange, Danxia, China. Zhange was a major stop on the Silk Road. It was where the eastern and western routes met. Zhange is in the middle of the famous Hexi Corridor, in the narrowest part of Gansu province. If you love the Grand Canyon and everything it stands for, and you live closer to Asia than North America, you should go to China and see the Rainbow Mountains of Zhange Danxia National Geological Park. People think the mountains are just as beautiful as the Grand Canyon, and one of the most beautiful places in all of China. The maroon, magenta, yellow, and green colors come from trace minerals in the sandstone. It has also become well known in China and other countries because of a movie shot there. The beautiful scenery in Disney's live-action movie Mulan, which was directed by Niki Caro, might blow you away. When Mulan is crying as she looks at the sunset, the beautiful Danxia Rainbow Mountains in Zhange are in the background. Number 8. Milford Sound, New Zealand. Milford Sound is said to be the most popular place for tourists to visit in all of New Zealand. It's also considered the unofficial 8th wonder of the world and one of the best places to visit in the world. Milford Sound is one of those places that you know you have to see when you go to New Zealand. Even your friend who doesn't travel probably knows about it, and it's on any list of the top 10 places to see in New Zealand. On a trip to Australia and New Zealand, you can visit places like the Sydney Opera House, the Waitomo Caves, the Great Barrier Reef, and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. These and other attractions will keep you busy, but once you see Milford Sound, everything else seems small in comparison. This 1,692-meter-high mountainous fjord is where all your Lord of the Rings dreams come true, and the first time you see it, you might feel butterflies in your stomach. It's no wonder that more than 500,000 people visit Milford Sound every year. Milford Sound can be seen on foot, by helicopter, or on a bus tour. Number 7. Plitvice Lakes National Park, Croatia. Plitvice Lakes National Park is known for having some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. It's the crown jewel of mountainous central Croatia. It's between Zagreb and Zadar, and on the border with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Croatia has beautiful natural spots all over the country, but Plitvice is by far the biggest. It's also the oldest and most popular nature park in Southeast Europe. Plitvice is mostly made up of a group of lakes. All of them are as clear as glass, and all of them are beautiful. This beautiful park is the largest national park in the country. It's best known for its 16 clear lakes, which are connected by a series of waterfalls and cascades. You can walk through the park on 18 kilometers of wooden paths and footbridges that wind around the edges and over waterfalls to give you the best views of the area. During your hike, you'll also see clouds of beautiful butterflies. It's easy to see why Plitvice Lakes get as many as 1,200,000 visitors a year. Number 6. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. There are many places on Earth that people think are beautiful and mysterious in their own way. Bolivia's popular salt flats, or Salar de Uyuni, definitely qualify. Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt flat. It's 10,582 kilometers long. A cemetery for trains is one of the most popular places to visit in Salar de Uyuni. It has all the trains that were used to mine in the 1940s and is visited by thousands of people each year. At times, very clear water covers the salt flat, making it the world's largest natural mirror. The world's biggest salt mine is also one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Salar de Uyuni looks like a Renaissance painting of a fantasy world. but it's proudly one of the most beautiful sights in all of South America. This huge desert is so beautiful that it leaves you speechless, and the strange islands that form in a sea of salt make for a scene that will stay with you forever. Number 5. Huacachina, Peru. Artists and people who like psytrance will fall in love with Huacachina, which is a beautiful oasis in the middle of the desert. Its raw beauty and strange stories will leave you spellbound. Imagine sitting on a big sand dune and watching the sun go down while the landscape around you turns bright red and yellow. Right in front of you is a dreamy oasis that looks like a still from one of those Arabian Nights movies. It has palm trees and rustic hotels that offer the best in luxury. Machu Picchu and Nazca may be more well known than Huacachina, but it still has a beautiful setting for those looking for mystery, adventure, or romance. Spend the night by the lake singing to your sweetheart, but keep an eye out for the mermaid who's said to live there. Number 4. Grand Canyon National Park, USA. There's a reason why more than 5 million people visit the Grand Canyon every year. It's one of the most enchanted places on Earth. No matter how much you read about the Grand Canyon, nothing can prepare you for the magical sight it offers. This interesting piece of art is thought to be one of the 7 wonders of the world. It looks and feels very familiar, but it's also very different. Its size leaves you speechless, and if you go to the canyon at sunrise or sunset, you'll be mesmerized by how peaceful, beautiful, and pure the scenery is. The rims on the north, west, and south sides of the canyon are all very different from each other. The most popular part of the canyon is the South Rim, which is where most of the infrastructure, Native American ruins, viewpoints, and historical artifacts are. But if you want adventure and privacy, you should go to the North Rim. Number 3. The Fairy Pools, Isle of Skye, Scotland. The Fairy Pools are on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. The Isle of Skye is part of the Inner Hebrides, where North Atlantic currents keep temperatures pretty mild and pleasant all year round. There are a group of pools, streams, and a waterfall in the middle of the Glen Brittle forest that make a beautiful scene. People say that the fairy pools have some magic, which is how they got their name. As soon as you see the fairy pool, you might start to believe in fairies. It's an ethereal oasis that charms people with its crystal clear water, picture-perfect scenery, and magical atmosphere. Even though the water is freezing, there's no better place to go swimming in the wild than here. And if you're not as daring, all you have to do is walk around the area and look at the aqua blue pools. Each one is more beautiful than the last. Number 2. Whitehaven Beach, Whitsundays, Australia. Whitehaven Beach is easy to see why it's one of the most photographed beaches in the world. The beautiful 7-kilometer stretch of white sand, which makes you feel like you're in your own little piece of heaven, gives off an air of peace and serenity, letting you relax in the best way possible. You can get to the beach by boat from Hamilton Island, Chute Harbor, and Airlie Beach. Tongue Point will give you the best view of Whitehaven Beach. If you plan your trip for when the tide is low, you'll see a beautiful mix of colors that always makes for the best view. Number 1. Cappadocia, Turkey. Cappadocia shows how strange and beautiful nature can be at the same time. It shows a fantasy-like landscape that looks like it was taken from a fairy tale, with hills and boulders that look like they came from another planet. The people who used to live here used the soft stone to build underground homes, leaving behind all kinds of strange architectural marvels. The lunar landscape is beautiful on its own, but the red, yellow, orange, and cream-colored hot air balloons that fill the sky just take it to a whole new level. Some of the best things to see in Cappadocia are the Goremi Open Air Museum and its rock-cut churches, as well as the underground wonders of Kaymakli. Each of these places is so beautiful, mysterious, and clever that you can't say a word about them. It makes you wonder how many more secrets this beautiful planet still has to show us. Exploring the most beautiful places in the world takes time, because there are so many places that could be on your list. But each experience will be amazing.
Thank you for watching World Video News. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, hit like and subscribe.